Yo, what's up everybody, it's your boy Zeta, and for this video we're going to be going over how strong Goku is using only the anime, basically using only the source material to find out how strong Goku is. This is not going to include any guidebooks or any additional information outside of the anime. Let's start off with some pretty easy baseline feats for Goku to just scale to him with as a start. For example, in the anime flashback, Kid Buu instantly destroys a galaxy and Goku is stronger than Kid Buu, so Goku is automatically galaxy level. Even before the Buu saga, characters within Dragon Ball have been shown to perform galaxy level feats. For example, Frieza tanks the explosion of Namek, which not only takes up the entire planet, but also takes up the entire galaxy surrounding Namek. Let's move on to some crazier characters such as Cell, who is consistently stated to have infinite power on multiple occasions. This would be true under coherence theory, as the universe in Dragon Ball is stated to be infinite and Cell was threatening to destroy it, which would further back that Cell actually has an infinite power. This is confirmed by Jocko, who admits that the universe is big enough to contain countless such galaxies, and this is just going to be verifiably true within the story, as Jocko is known to be a space cop that travels across the universe to deal with, people. This is also backed up by Shenron, who openly admits that the reason he cannot track down one of the Super Dragon Balls is because the universe has a boundless expanse. And before some goofball tries to use some Bulma statement that's very, very, very obviously a knowledge claim, are you seriously going to take Bulma more reliable than Shenron? Bro, what the fuck? Cell being universal is further backed up, as while he was charging his Kamehameha, it produced a shaking that was so strong that according to Piccolo, it was quote-unquote like it was shaking the entire universe. And this would be further backed up, as the Namekians could feel his energy from millions of light years away, and they too state that it could destroy the entire universe. Cell's perfect form is also considered to be a shock to the entire universe. Well, I really wonder why. The narrative also outright admits that Cell intends to destroy the universe, which would make no sense if none of his power could truly destroy the universe. Going outside of the Cell saga, we now enter the Buu saga, and let's actually just tap into the Buu saga scaling real quick. Buu is stated to be consistently on multiple occasions to be universal. There's even one statement from the original manga which outright confirms that Buu can poof the universe. Even way back from the Buu saga, in the Namek saga, it was also stated that second form Frieza has enough power to destroy the universe. And what is power in Dragon Ball? Oh, right, it's ki. He has enough ki to destroy the universe. And before some lazy idiot wants to try to argue that this is just in reference to destroying the universe over time, that interpretation easily introduces contradictions. For one, the statement doesn't even provide any sort of temporal or some sort of time-based inference regarding the statement. There's just nothing that even says this. And secondly, they're stating that Frieza having enough power to destroy the universe is a quality of Frieza's being, not that he will eventually do it. So that's just easily a misinterpretation of the statement. By this logic, me being able to destroy a wall or me being able to destroy a building in 1,000 years is considered enough power to destroy a building, which is a literal contradiction. Like, if I have the power, or if I only have enough strength or enough energy to flip a table, then are you going to say that I have enough power to destroy an entire city? Because that's technically possible in trillions of years. In trillions of years, I will destroy the city. Like, do you understand how stupid that reasoning is? That just introduces contradictions. You can't say that I can destroy a city, but also can't destroy a city. That's an easy contradiction. Now let's move on to statements that easily go beyond the universal tier, and let's just easily transcend into those low multiversal ranges. The afterlife and the mortal universe are considered to be two entirely distinct worlds, so this means that they cannot be the same world, which would automatically grant that the afterlife is a completely different space-time. Because if the afterlife is part of the universe, then they would not have any linguistic distinction. Goku and Gohan in the Saiyan saga were stated to be separated by space and time, and this is clearly in reference to Gohan being in the living world and Goku being in the other world, which would further back up that the other world and living world are two distinct space-times. Now let's move on to the crazy other world scaling, because there's actually a lot of crazy stuff within the source material alone. So we know that the universe is infinite based on the prior data I just gave you guys in this video. Well, guess what? It's also stated to be the exact same size as heaven. But here's the catch. Heaven appears finite in Otherworld. If heaven appears finite within the Otherworld and the universe is infinite, this would actually back up that the Otherworld or the afterlife is actually a higher dimension. Because under set theory, higher infinities would appear as finite within a higher plane of existence. For example, let's say that there's a comic book, right? And the comic book depicts like an infinite universe, right? Well, we as readers are reading the comic on a finite piece of paper. This is also further backed up that the Otherworld is a higher plane of existence, as Goku Black in his speech with Trunks explains that he looks down on existence from a higher perspective or from a higher plane of existence. Well, I really wonder how the Dragon Ball Down players are going to exclude this one. And this is further backed up as Goku comments that the Otherworld has no time, which would make sense if it's actually a higher dimension, because higher dimensions function on a different ontological flow of time. There's also Garlic Jr.'s Dead Zone, which is described by Garlic Jr.
linear to be an endless hell, and you can take this to be hyperbolic or not, I seriously don't care.
Hyperspaces are also contained within Dragon Ball's cosmology, as Jocko admits that he uses technology that's built for hyperspace, and a hyperspace is a space with more than 3 spatial dimensions.
Given this information, the standard Dragon Ball cosmology would get from 4D to 5D. Okay, let's go over who scales to the standard Dragon Ball cosmology now.
The first character to go off of is very clearly Goku, as his Super Saiyan 3 was stated to shake the entire macrocosm, or his shaking was so vast that it even reached the Kaioshin realm, which exists outside of the standard macrocosm. There's also Buhan, who is breaking down an interdimensional wall that was responsible for separating most of the dimensions within the cosmology, and I'm more inclined to believe that this is referring to the barrier between the living world and the other world, as that has been consistently mentioned within Dragon Ball's lore within the anime. Kid Buu threatened to destroy the Kaioshin realm, which is implied to be on a similar or basically identical plane of existence as the afterlife. Battle of Gods Goku is consistently stated to be someone who can destroy the entire macrocosm against Beerus. Beerus and Champa are so strong that them casually fighting threatens to destroy both Universe 7 and Universe 6. Now let's go beyond the standard Dragon Ball cosmology, and now let's go to the bigger parts of the Dragon Ball cosmology. The neutral zone is a place that exists outside all of the 12 universes and contains all 12 universes, making this a higher dimension on top of the previous dimensions within the cosmology. All of this is contained inside of a timeline, and there are characters who can scale to the entire timeline, such as Fuse Zamasu, who became the entire timeline and even breached out into other timelines. Goku should scale to Infinite Zamasu, as Goku is on par with Jiren, who is confirmed to be Goku's strongest enemy, and Infinite Zamasu was one of Goku's enemies, so therefore Jiren is above Infinite Zamasu, and Goku matches that power. Now that we have Goku's attack power aside, let's actually go into how fast Goku is. For starters, to destroy an infinite universe within a finite amount of time would require infinite speed by definition, which would make Goku at a lowball infinite speed. Going beyond this, to even affect multiple realms within the macrocosm, you would need to have a measurable speed, since to cross into multiple spacetimes would analytically require transcending time and space speed. And by the way, if you do not have a measurable speed, then you cannot cross into multiple different universes or spacetimes. That's just going to be a contradiction. You would need to go beyond the ranges of time and space in order to access multiple different universes. This immeasurable speed scaling is further backed up, as Hit implies that he can leave Universe 7 with his raw speed alone without needing like the cube that can take him to different universes. And again, guys, I'm only using the source material. This is how bad Dragon Ball downplayers actually downplay the series. Like, they're actually that strong. Like, and I'm only using the base source material. In conclusion, I have Goku at complex multiversal with immeasurable speed, just using the source material, and you can get him way higher using guidebooks, author statements, and plenty of other stuff that exists outside the source material. Now, I know there's some other esoteric-based arguments to get source material Goku even higher, but I'm not going to go into that for this video. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. See you.